Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's daily portrait practice. I see there are two of you waiting to watch this live stream. Thank you so much to you two who are here. I would love to hear from you if you're watching live or watching the replay, joining every day. Please say hello in the comments. It's always an honor to be able to be here and sketch together. And I'm really looking forward to drawing Darcia Narvaez today because a couple months ago I listened to the audiobook of The Evolved Nest, which is incredible. It's so good. And once again, this is a screenshot from Zoom, so it's pretty lo-fi reference. Sylvia, hello. Is it just you today? Maybe. We are here together. Thank you so much for being here. I see maybe two other people are here as well. So say hello. This is spontaneous and a very unusual time for me to live stream. But it's good to just be able to get on here and do it when it fits. And I'm so glad that you are here. So let's sketch. Continuing on with the values theme and working with ink, and also the eternal song theme. So I have been listening to more of the conversations today, and it's been it's so good. It's really amazing to be able to learn from so many amazing people, and it's really a great opportunity for growth and healing and learning, and it's intense. And it's really, I've been busy with it the past few days. Gretchen is here. Cindy is here. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Now there are 8 people. Who else is here? 5 more of you have joined. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been intense. I've had a bit of a cold. I've been taking care of my kids, and at every free opportunity I've been listening to these conversations, and it's really heartening to see all these people coming together and sharing so much, so many wonderful perspectives, and it's good. And I'm aware of a lot which is not good, and it's good to have good things. So thank you to everyone who has been speaking and sharing. So this is Orland Bishop, Francis Weller. I've continued to sketch from the talks I've been listening to. Ruth Tai. I just thought this was such a wonderful moment, a wonderful smile. Richard Schwartz. And now we're going to sketch Darcia Narvaez, who wrote this book and many books. I put a couple of links in the description so you can go to The Evolved Nest, where you can get resources for learning about this way of revitalizing a kinship understanding of the world and our relationships to each other and the world which we are a part of. It's quite amazing. So I just listened to this conversation this morning and was so happy to hear what Darcia had to say, and thought, let's sketch Darcia Narvaez, because after I listened to The Evolved Nest, I was like, we should draw her. It was really, the whole topic was very much alive in me. So many incredible people, incredible teachers sharing so much great stuff. So let's sketch now. And I see now there are 11 of you watching, and only 2 likes so far. So can I have some more thumbs up? Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let us begin our sketch for the day, and say hello in the chat. I don't know what can I say. It's really interesting. I found, and it was once again through a Science and Non-Duality podcast that I first heard these thoughts, so much wisdom and insight, so comprehensively packaged and delivered, and a lot of stuff that when was it? It was sometime when Kira and I first, we lived in Australia for a while together, a few years back, must be about 15 years ago. And through traveling and being in different places, encountering many different ideas on how it is to be alive and how to live and how to have a family. So the subject of the evolved nest, there's this wonderful subheading. I'll see if I can just find it. What was it? Because it's so good. There's a fly here. Hello, fly. Nature's way of raising children and creating connected communities is the subheading of the Evolved Nest book, and it's quite amazing. And yeah, I'm not sure how I won't be able to articulate the wonderfulness of it, as well as listening in to the audiobook or some podcasts or something. But yeah, just this. So what I was going to say was, in Australia, meeting people who, and I think it really started with some friends that we made who home birthed their child, and we're like, whoa, and it was something I hadn't really heard much about, and to them it's just like, yeah, totally normal, like why wouldn't you? And my mum's a nurse, and I feel like in the way of working, the clinical kind of hospital way, which of course has its place and is has been very important to many people, but I have so many things going on in my head that I'm not sure what to say, how, in what order they should come out. But yeah, so just getting back to the fact that, like, home birthing, like, oh wow, that's something we had never thought of before, and at that time we were not thinking about children entering our lives and world. But it just kind of what do I want to say? Kind of opened up. That was just like, that's this one idea of how life begins in this natural and guided. Home birth is not. It's like our experience of it is a community kind of activity with a wonderful midwife, and being kind of, if you have the access to the support of people who are well versed in and well experienced and being present at birth, it's just such a natural and wonderful way to be able to start a life. And so when would this have been? I know, it was quite a while ago. And then within that kind of community of where we were at the time, and I babysat for these kids, and we were really close and great friends for a while, and we're like, oh, like in that time, and also being around while one of their kids were born, while birth was given and life, like it just became like being able to witness and understand certain ways of how life can start. I feel like that was kind of the introduction to my to a way of seeing and understanding a lot of what is addressed in the book The Evolved Nest, and the idea that something which is very natural and it's a big, I don't know, it's a big topic, and it's hard to articulate everything that I think about it while sketching, but the idea of having a supportive, experienced community involved in the raising of human life. And in this book, it's not just human. There are a lot of wonderful examples from the animal world of how parenting is done, how life is shared. It's just really, 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 really interesting and amazing. Hello, Andrea. So I'm not sure my little, yeah, I've done my drawing now, and I'm going to start putting some ink down. And I'm not sure how well that kind of ties into, there's like some connection between those ideas that I was kind of first made aware of, realizing that the way I had, so my wonderful mother, who's a nurse, and the medical system that she grew up in and that we grew up in, how that's just one of many ways, and there is a much older way. Yeah, it's a big thing. And I'm going to start putting some ink now, because this is a portrait drawing session, and I'm not sure I'm able to do the conversation justice, because it is so big. But Darcia Narvaez can do it justice, and I would certainly recommend following her work. And so something really interesting in the conversation that I listened to today, she was talking about, she said there are resources. This idea, so this is something which is perhaps a bit easier to talk about, is that growing and existing in like a nurturing community is something that is like, that's the usual way of things in the natural world, and is something that many of us have become distanced from in society. And it's something I think about every day. I think about my kids, and I spent yesterday with them. We went to this wonderful forest, and I often think about, what is it that I'm able to share and impart with my children, and even though I see this value and the importance of community and communal life, like just of, I live very far away from my family, and Kira's family live like 3 hours. Kira's parents live 3 hours away, and so we are quite far from that family structure. Of course, we have friends in the village, but when I think back to my childhood, even there was so much family in the village where I grew up. I had so many cousins, and there was just kind of this looking back in it, I'm not sure what it was actually like, but I have so many memories of spending time with my cousins and family, and just growing up really close to each other. And I see that now that life has led me to where I am, and we live the way we do, which we live as well as we can. There's something that I see that is lacking, is like a natural kind of community, being so far from family. And it's interesting, though we are aware of it and try to address and do what we can for this sense of growing in community. I wonder, how is it that we're able to kind of give our kids all that we can? Hello, Ronnie. Because we know or have this understanding of certain things being right. And there are, when I think back to my childhood, there was family around everywhere. We went to church, which is not something I do anymore. But there was that really, the family and the church fulfilled a lot of the role and the importance of community. And even though we as people and parents are aware of like the importance of community and stuff, it's like the society and the way things are now and the decisions we have made, not being close to family, is that we have to find and nurture our community in a different way. And it's just interesting and something. So I really was happy to hear about, and I'll be looking into, is that on the Evolved Nest website, that it has resources for parenting, for young children, for adolescents, and I'm really interested to discover that a bit more, because I think it's a big task to kind of guide young people in their start in life, and if we have the opportunity to kind of support them in whatever way we can, and it's challenging. And there, we see things about the way things are, that it's like because of kind of what is needed in society, and everyone's working, that so often there's not time to, it's just an interesting challenge to be like, how do we live life for us and our kids and family in a way which is to the benefit of everyone in our family, but like living the best way you can is kind of in the interest of everyone beyond the family as well. And what Darcia has written about and teaches and shares, it's like, really feels like a powerful resource for understanding our place in the world, and how like the perspective we have of children and community, because we're all children. We all started there, and also that it's the indigenous perspectives and the non-human storytelling of the way different animals in community raise their children in the book The Evolved Nest. It's really touching, heartwarming, and it's and I think it's really important, because it can often feel, and I even often feel like, in the way things are, and I spend a lot of time with my kids and do what I can with and for them, but sometimes it's it can just be so super challenging, because everyone's doing their own thing, and there's not always like it. We have some support network and we have friends and stuff, but not everyone can always help everyone all the time, and but to find ways that we can support each other as much as possible when we need it. Like, how can we develop our sense of kinship and learning and growing together? It's a very big and very impactful subject, I think, because it's about life and creating the best kind of circumstances in which life can thrive, and if we know how we can thrive, that also has, like, in a way which is in tune with nature, because we are nature and not separate from it. Developing reciprocal, beneficial relationships in our understanding of how we inhabit the world and how we raise our kids, and like what we pass on to our kids, what they the perspectives that they have. And it's interesting thinking about church, because we grew up in church, and I think the community aspect was really great. I've talked about this before in live streams, like the singing together. There was so much of it, which was, I think, really wonderful. But it's not, at least I'm not aware of a church here. A lot of my perspectives and ideas have changed, but I see how the community role that church played was really big and valuable. And that is something that our kids don't have, because we just have a different perspective and different experiences. But somehow still, Also wonder if in community, in the village here, like we've been here for 4 years now, and we know a lot of people, but I just wonder about community. Because I feel like my sense of online community is really strong. And often I feel like I'm with my kids and we're kind of looking for things to do and ways to be. Like I guess my real world sense of community, I feel like, is less than when I was a child. Like I kind of feel like everyone's doing their own thing, and it's interesting to become aware of that, and to then try and make a conscious effort towards strengthening our sense of community. And that's, within the people in the village, our friends, and also, interestingly, and I think really wonderfully, ties into the sense of the reverence for nature is the cows that I hear, hello, Javi Jav, in Chicago, the cows that I can hear mooing out in the field, the sense of community, also to our non-human neighbors as well. That's also just to see that there is life all around us. It's interesting part of what's going on in my life, in the world, and I think in the lives of many, like it's really, I think it's super important for us to realize that, we're all interwoven and part of this community, even though we're maybe not even talking, but we are present together somehow in whatever we're doing. If it's like the other people at the supermarket, and it's also particularly interesting to think of in terms of like when on the family level is one thing, but then to look into the world and see like when that idea of interconnectedness is then not perceived and shared, and the othering that can take place, like how that can lead to great harm. And I guess that cultivating a sense of community and connectedness is the kind of the antidote, the medicine for that sense of separation. But and I guess I feel like this portrait is coming to a close, and I'm just thinking back to the ideas of the book, the evolvedness, and I guess even later in life, and I would imagine for those who are not parenting, or perhaps that has passed, but just to understand like kind of human interaction, and how we relate to each other, what our place is in the world. I think for anyone, it's could be a potentially very relevant and insightful book to learn from and with. So what do you think, everyone? It's a very one-sided conversation today. Me doing a lot of talking. But if you've made it to the end of this live stream, you could put a drawing hand emoji in the chat. It's been nice to have you here, knowing that you're out there, that we get to draw together and share this moment and this creative act of focus and contemplation together. And it's just fun to draw people. And if you want a sense of community, beyond watching this live stream, every Tuesday I hang out with people in Zoom and we sketch together, and it's happening in 2 hours. And if you dig deep down through the links in the description of this video, you'll find the Zoom link. And I would love you to come and sketch with us in Zoom, because it has seriously been a pretty core part of my social life the past years. In addition to being a wonderful way to practice portrait sketching, but just to sit together with other people who also like sketching, and we tell funny stories. The theme of today's session will be learning, because I feel like I've been learning a lot listening to all these conversations. And yeah, I would love to see you there. I've met so many people and had the honor and delight of sharing my Zoom room with so many great people, and it's just yeah, doing stuff together is just often, but not always, better than doing things alone. Or it's good to have both, you know. It's good to be able to do things alone, and it's really good to be able to do things together. And that's what the Zoom session is about: practicing together, learning together, sketching each other, sharing stories. And you're very welcome to join us. So the link is down in the description, starting in just under 2 hours. Journey to the Middle Earth is here again. You're doing some sketching while watching. So great. Gretchen, it's been good. Thank you for those sketching hands. Cindy, Andrea, Ronnie, Sylvia, who was here first. Sylvia was the first person here for this spontaneous live stream. Gail is here. Thank you. Ingrid, ich habe dir sehr gerne zugeschaut und zugehört. Bin im Urlaub und hole die Sketches noch nach. Großartig, genieße deinen Urlaub. Thank you, Darcia Narvaez, for your work. And yeah, if you check out those links in the description to the Evolve Nest and to learn more about Darcia's work, because I think it's pretty important and great. And thanks once again to the Science and Non-Duality community who created the Eternal Song film and gathering. Also an incredible community and resource for people to be able to listen and learn and feel like we're connected somehow. All right, thanks everyone. I hope that I'll see some of you in my Zoom room in 2 hours and 51 minutes. And yeah, the theme will be learning, and I would love to sketch with you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sketching with me now. And I look forward to the next opportunity for us to sketch together. Take care, everyone.